Let's talk about Gareth Southgate for Spurs. Is that...
Well, is it April the 1st?
What makes you say that? This is a World Cup semi-finalist. So what makes you think...
I'm just surprised by it. I think the club for Gareth Southgate, for me, my personal opinion would be, is that he works well with youngsters. But go to a club where he can build something over a number of years. I don't think Tottenham's the club for him. That's my only opinion on that. I just don't think it would be the right club for him at this moment in time. With some of the big names that have been linked to it. Are we putting Southgate in the same bracket as some of the... Ten Hag at Ajax? He'd be my pick. I think Southgate goes alongside the one with Scott Parker, which is just, it's kind of would be a surprise. It would be a surprise. He's got more level. Obviously, he's got more in the coach's bank. But the difference is, right? There's lots of differences between managing an international side than managing a club side. Let's get this straight. There's huge differences. Yep. Huge. And I think what he does really well, and that's part of being an international manager, is when you get a group of players together who are not used to being together, to make them gel, and everything goes so well because he's got them for a short period of time, except for major tournaments, where he has to get the best out of them in a short time. So man management becomes absolutely crucial. But I think when club management, he's got these players around, the same players all the time, and they build their own closeness with just being around each other every single day at the training ground, at lunch, you know what I mean, in hotels, on the team bus. So the manager's there to manage the, you know what I mean, the football. Mm-hmm. So it's a big, big difference. And we all know Gareth Southgate, one thing he does really, really, really well, he has gelled those players together in short periods of time.
Okay, but he will want to come back to club management at some point. It may even be after the Euros this summer. Just imagine, right? Okay, just imagine he wins the Euros, okay? I know it might be a stretch of stretching your belief processes, but just imagine he wins the Euros. Would Spurs not feel privileged and honoured to have secured the manager who took England to European Championship glory to be their manager next season? I don't see this Spurs being above Gareth Southgate thing at all. I think they should be honoured that his name is even linked with their club. I even see the Ajax manager, who's winning titles with Ajax regularly.
His performances in the Champions League as well.
Well, they've just been knocked out of the Europa League, but...
Yeah, I know that, but they've done some unbelievable stuff. He looks the part. He looks to me as though he's a man in control of everything. Yeah. Tactics...
I don't disagree with this.
Substitutions, the way he builds some of the players he has to work with, the management of the players he has to bring in, the budgets, he does it under... Fantastic.
Yeah. And that means he's far too qualified to be Spurs manager. Spurs are not a side that's going for top four even. They need to take that next step.
Yeah, but they want to be in
he's
top
above
four.
Spurs, I'm afraid.
They want to be in the top four.
Yeah, but he's above that. His next appointment, he's not going to take a backward step or a sideways step. He's going forward. There's no point in him going to Spurs.
Well, that is a forward step.
To Spurs from Ajax?
Yes, absolutely.
Have you seen how far Spurs have fallen since they were in the Champions League semi-final with Ajax?
It's still a step up to manage at a club like Tottenham. Yes, they haven't won a trophy for a long, long time. But this is a club under Poch. We're in the Champions League, 4 out of 5 seasons in that top four. So they're a club that are expected under Mourinho to move forward. And they had the opportunity to win a trophy at the weekend. They failed again. But I still think they can take an high-profile manager. And Gareth Southgate, for all the good thing he does, and I think he will go into management, I'm not quite sure he goes from that to England manager to a massive, massive job. I can't say. I don't think anybody in that top 4, 5 will be gambling on Gareth. If you look at the managers that have left international, especially England of late, Ericsson, Capello, you could go back to Hoddle and Keegan, what were their record like after they left England jobs?
Oh, not great. But it doesn't mean it...
But it's totally different.
So what's he saying then?
I think it's totally
he's definitely not going to be great. He's got to back himself,
it could be. Of course he could be. He might be brilliant. But it's still a gamble. Can Tottenham afford to gamble? Their next manager...
Well, hang on a minute.
They'll fall right down the...
What you're missing here, you've taken this big leap that Spurs are still in that elite. I'm afraid not.
Well, they are.
The time has gone.
That's rubbish.
The time has gone.
Absolute rubbish.
They need to reset themselves. They've been thinking big for too long, and they're not big. They need to reset themselves, rethink their strategy, and absolutely feel honoured that Southgate's even linked with them. That's the way Spurs should. Listen, their glory years were long ago. Was it 50-odd years? 60 years since they won the title. 60 years! They need a reality check, Spurs. They've needed it for a long time, and this is it. If they're not happy with Southgate, that tells you how they're not living in the real world. They just don't get where they are right now.